What's up, my ninjas? I'm Strident, and today we are taking a look at the DC Multiverse Batman vs. Superman Batfleck and the, what was that called? The Total Destruction Epic Blast Batmobile. There's some things to say about more so bats than the Batmobile. The Batmobile's fine. It's just that these guns on the front are just fucking ginormous, and I hate that. But this figure here represents a new low for Mattel, because even though at a distance it really looks the part, and with the custom cape he really looks the part, it's still very I don't know, there's things about it that just don't add up. So I'm gonna get into it and just, you know, let the cards fall where they may. So I like his articulation to some degree, because for a quote-unquote cheapo figure, he's kind of got the DCUC stuff that we were used to. You know, he's got the basic universal shoulder and a universal H joint, you know, hip. But his legs, like even when he's standing up straight, like facing you, his legs kick out, and the knee on this side is actually pointing inward. So if you want him to stand up perfectly straight, both knees will be pointing inward, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is straight with both feet pointed outward or directly at us. You know, look at him. But look at his knees. The fuck is that about? And then it almost makes me believe that this was sculpted by the in-house staff at Hasbro and not the Horsemen. You know what I mean? Because the Horsemen would have done such a better job. Their anatomy is more on point, and they don't make stupid mistakes like that. So I'm disappointed that that's what we ended up with for this guy. One thing I will note about the Batmobile before I continue is that it's kind of stubby. I expected a much longer Batmobile and a little bit wider, you know? I mean, that's the front. It's a go-kart. I mean, this is the space that's inside. Instead of having the two pieces like what we saw in the movie, you just have one piece, and it's so narrow, it's hard for him to fit in there. You really gotta tilt him and then put him in, and you know, two legs and then a shoulder and then the other shoulder. The guns, my god, does this say murderer? Nothing says murderer more than freaking insane guns on the front, but I still like the design. I love the design, actually. I like the wheel covers in the front that kind of double as bumpers and stuff. I love the fact that they put these little decals, because they help add some life to a pretty bland, as far as colors go, a bland color palette on this vehicle. I wish that the back was more pronounced, so you knew like this is the thruster, and make the thruster big enough so we get it and paint the inside or put a sticker in there. But you know, overall it gets the point across. It's a new Batmobile. It has the essence of what we saw in the film. You know, it looks like a vehicle that would menace freaking, you know, criminals, so it works. But back to Batman. So, as I always do with Batman figures, I did a custom cape on him. Now, in all the concept artwork, his cape is shredded. He doesn't actually have the scallops like what we're used to. You know, not like Keaton bats. So I did that. I didn't do any paint except for, I don't know if it even shows up. I hope it does. I'm gonna have to take a picture and show you. So there's all these little details, and I took pictures to show you up close. I love the knuckle dusters. I love the gold accents on the black belt. I love the steel-tipped or gold-tipped boots. It looks really nice, and it adds to the whole, like, I'm done just beating you, I'm going to maim you, you know, Batman aesthetic that this guy has. But, like, that's where it ends. I took close-ups, you know, detail shots of the cowl versus the mask itself versus the cowl portion that turns into the cape. Two different textures. The fuck? Like, how did you not notice that? And that's not even what you see in the film. And it's just, there's a lot of slop with this figure that, like, it makes you wonder, like, were they serious? And then they asked for 20 bucks. It's like, you can go fuck yourself. You're really gonna make me pay the same price as, like, this? You know what I mean? Or even this figure here from Mattel's Dark Knight stuff, which was pretty awesome stuff. You know, somewhat better than what we got with MAFEX, because there's a lot of sculpted detail in here because it was done by the fucking Horsemen. So, you know, you're trying to tell me that we got those two and then they turn around and they do this? And it's weird because the design is actually a good design. You know, it's a well thought out design. I like it. And it's funny because this whole steez comes from this Batman, which, you know, it's an okay design. It's missing some of the logic that went into this one. But I still like this one. This is one of my favorite figures. You know, just a well done figure. You mean to tell me that you couldn't do more with this? You couldn't sculpt his feet or his legs so that facing front is facing front, you know? I mean, because, like, sometimes you pose him and it looks good, but when you look at it, you see the seams aren't lining up. You're seeing the side of his knee, which means his knees are pointed inward and his foot is looking right. Because, like, look at all the other Batman. They can do it. It's kind of the way it's the hero stance. It's the way it works. But yeah, this right here is the pinnacle for me. This is my favorite Batman figure. And I already went over this, but, you know, it's just that when you look at that in comparison to, you look at all these in comparison to what we got here, and it's just like, this is not a $20 figure. He comes with nothing. No accessories, no nothing. Not even a gun, not even a batarang, nothing. Instead, the armored one comes with the gun that he used more when he was in this form. You know? Towards the end of the movie. Well, I guess technically the fight was 5 minutes and the rescue was a lot shorter, so yeah, he used it more in the armored form. But overall, it's just so, I don't know, he's in need of customization, and a custom cape goes a long way. Because, I mean, just look at that shape. He looks so thorough. And I love the fact that he's got this big ass, like, his back is huge. He looks like what we've been reading in the comics. But overall, this is not a good $20 figure. I say avoid this and go for the MAFEX one. I have Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman on pre-order. I'll be reviewing them all at the same time when that gets here. For now, if you can't wait, pick this up. But if you have some fortitude, some type of discipline, skip this one. So anyway, it's been my review of Batfleck from the DC Multiverse line from Batman vs. Superman. And that's it for me. On to the next one.